Stayed on freedom. Woke up this morning with my mind. Stayed on freedom. Well, I woke up this morning with my mind. Stayed on freedom. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Want to thank the Reverend Dr. William Barber, who just visited us, who was there on Thursday. Yeah. And his call for people of faith to lead actions on the People's House.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes.
Claiming back that the People's House should be about the people.
Amen.
Right?
Yes.
I remember reading that Aristotle suggested that the highest form of community is the state.
Yes.
All right.
And then he went on to suggest that if in fact the state is the highest form of community, then the state ought to be held to the highest quality of community building. Ought to be held to the highest standard of morality. Ought to be held to the highest standard of justice. Ought to be held to the highest standard of democracy. Ought to be held to the highest standard of being community in and for the people. I think I remember reading in one of our founding documents that government is for the people and by the people.
Yes.
Seems that we've forgotten that these days. Seems that we've forgotten that budgets are built in gold and blood.
My Lord. My Lord.
Seems that we have forgotten that the bottom line isn't the end of the line.
All right. Mercy. That's right.
Hear more talk about money than people. Hear more talk about what we can't do than what we can do.
That's right. Say that.
Make it plain.
So we are here this morning in a somewhat symbolic way. We faith leaders, we labor leaders, we just regular rank and file folk who are, like Fannie Lou Hamer said a generation or two ago, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
All right.
And when you come to that place where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, it's time to do something, right?
That's right.
And so here we are to do something.
That's right. Amen.
So just for the next few minutes, we'd like to, first of all, read to you aloud what we are demanding in this season. Because come January here, let me say it loud and let me say it proud. Work will not go on as usual here at the LOB and at the state capitol. We're going to call for more legislating. We're going to call for more policy making. We are calling for right now so that you don't get blindsided by our visits to the LOB, our visits to meetings, our phone calls to our legislators to let them know, we believe that we are to stand for what is right.
That's right.
Yes.
I want to make particular, and what is right is people.
That's right.
Turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, what is right is people. Come on, turn to another neighbor and say, neighbor. Let me say it one more time. What is right is people.
Yes. All people.
Yes.
Not some people, that's right. Not just rich people. Not just corporate people. All people.
No exception.
That's right.
Absolutely, positively, no exceptions.
That's right.
Can I get one amen right there?
Right there.
So let's read our, I like it, our statement
Yes.
of action.
Yes.
We as clergy people and faith people, we used to leading calls to worship. worship,
Yes.
or faith statements, if you will. Here is our statement of faith. Read the first one.
An end to state-sanctioned violence against black and brown people. You want the rest of that?
Yes, the whole thing?
Every 28 hours, a black person is killed by someone employed or protected by the U.S. government. Black and brown people are targeted, denied due process, and murdered because of the dehumanizing, superhumanizing police practices.
Next one. Kathy?
Full employment for our people.
The unemployment rate for blacks in Connecticut at more than 13% is more than double the 5% rate for whites. And unemployment rates are disproportionately higher in Waterbury, Bridgeport, and Hartford at 12% overall. Connecticut people of color earn a median hourly wage that is on average $7.25 to $8 less than white workers earn. The average annual wage of Hartford's mostly black residents is just under $17,000, while Connecticut's is more than $37,000.
Affordable quality housing. Average fair market rent for Hartford area residents is about $11,440 for a 2-bedroom apartment. An individual would have to earn almost $48,000 per year to afford this housing, or work 96 hours per week at minimum wage to afford the rent alone, not including food, utilities, etc. Hartford's mill rate is 74.2, is by far the highest in the state.
In the school to prison pipeline, the achievement gap is larger in Connecticut than any other state. African American and Hispanic students score significantly lower than white students in every content area of the Connecticut Mastery Test. In Connecticut schools, black children are nearly 4 times more likely to be arrested than white children.
Abolish mass incarceration and end the prison industrial complex. Connecticut incarcerates 143 women for every 100,000 residents. A significant portion of the Connecticut 51% female prison population are women in federal facilities. Approximately 60% of our prison population consists of persons with mental illnesses. The majority white residents of 7 state house districts got significantly more representation in the legislature because their districts include at least 1,000 incarcerated African Americans and Latinos from other parts of the state.
Eliminate health and mental health disparities. Zip code and race are 2 of the strongest predictors of life expectancy for Americans, and African Americans fare the worst in terms of morality and health among all racial and ethnic groups. African Americans and Latinos in Connecticut are much more likely to experience diabetes, asthma, stroke than are whites. In Connecticut, people of color are more likely to have complications after inpatient care and more likely to be readmitted to the hospital after discharge. There are substantial racial ethnic disparities within Connecticut's inpatient mental health and substance abuse services.
Got a couple more.
Environmental justice. In Connecticut, there are over 600 potential pollution sources in each of our 5 major metropolitan towns: Bridgeport, Hartford, New Haven, Stamford, and Waterbury. These 5 towns combined contain 19% of the state's pollution, 20% of all potential pollution sources, 51% of all the state's population in poverty, and 71% of the state's minority population.
In Connecticut, 30% of eligible voters are unregistered. Young voters, the unemployed, and renters are the least likely to vote. Registering and voting automatically and online would grant greater access to young, working, disabled, and other voters. Up to 400,000 new voters could be added with voter automatic registration in Connecticut.
So what do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
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 So we thought we would have a person who's directly affected by some of these statistics and some of these ideas to address us. Come on, Brother Kevin and Reggie, right? Richard. All right.
Tell us your name again. All right.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
My name is Richard Grimes, and I work at the McDonald's on Weston Street. I've been working there for 3 months, and I make only $9.60 an hour. Now, the $9.60 an hour is decent, but it's not good enough for anything else that I have to pay for. Like, I have to pay for a cell phone. I can barely afford the basic insurance that the city gives out. And it's hard enough to even find an apartment because with $9.60 an hour, with the statistics that was just read off, I can't even afford a 1-bedroom apartment, let alone a 2-bedroom apartment.
That's right. All right.
So, with the other 25 cities and everything else, I stand before the clergyman right behind me, and I stand to support the $15 minimum wage and fight for racial justice. Because as a city, and especially in the state, everyone deserves better opportunities in this city, especially in the state of Connecticut.
That's right.
That's exactly why everyone is here right now today. Thank you.
Brother Richard Grimes. In this state that touts itself as the richest state per capita in the country, it's a shame that we have a wage and wealth gap. Y'all ain't say amen to that one. What's wrong? Shouldn't be that we talk about deficit budgets.
All right.
Shouldn't be in this wealthy state.
That's right. That's right.
Disproportionately, some people make more than others, right?
Right. Yes.
Disproportionately.
Yeah.
I want mine and I want you to have yours, right?
Uh-huh.
I want to eat and go and have somewhere to live and have some insurance and safe, affordable somewhere to live, right?
That's right. That's
Should
right.
be that everybody that wants somewhere to live safe and affordable ought to get that.
That's right.
Should
That's
be
right.
that anybody that wants health care should be able to go down there and get some health care. Should be that anybody that wants to make a wage, wants a job, should be able to work on that job as at a living wage level.
Yes. Amen.
To me, it's basic moral sense.
Yes, it is.
To me.
Yeah.
And so we're here today. A few of us are going to move in just a moment inside into the legislative office building. We have arranged for a meeting with one of our friends who is in the legislature.
Amen.
And we will then issue our concerns.
All right.
Lay them at the feet of this government. Remember again, it's the people's house.
That's right.
Whose house?
People's house.
Whose house?
People's house.